Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here I am today, again outside. The insects have just begun to sing, so hopefully it's okay. I really wanted to come and talk about my Salteña cowl, which I have finished, which was my knit 3 words challenge, and I'm super proud and excited to share it with you all. Yes, so we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about some natural dyeing, and then I will talk about my progress on the mystery cowl that I was working on of a pattern by Marianela Galo, which is really beautiful. Then I will talk about a finished object, past finished object, and then we will talk about a plant. And today is mullein, which is a favorite plant of mine. So yes, all right, here we go. Okay, so I'm not really going to put it on to talk about it, but here it is. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like, I think it's really cool. I love these increases that I've done here. This fabric is really amazing. There might be some mistakes, but I bet you can't find them. That's the beauty of this yarn by Dingolondango. Love the color, love everything about it. So I'm super excited. And this pattern I will release in the first week of September, I think, is when we're supposed to do that. So here it is. And I totally played yarn chicken. This is what I had left over, but it wasn't too much of yarn chicken because I knew I had my swatch, so I knew I could like undo my swatch and do that. But I used 2 skeins of fingering weight, which I'm pretty sure you could find your equivalent in DK. And yeah, so this is it. Isn't that cool? I'm really happy with it. So also, I wanted to let you know that I will be doing yet again another giveaway of my stitch markers. So the day that the Cuello Salteña, my Salteña cowl pattern, is released in September, I will be drawing a winner from the comment section below. So what I would like you to do, and this is a little shout out to Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craftcast, because what she does is she asks her viewers to leave below a bright spot. So what I want you to do to enter into this giveaway is to leave something special, something beautiful, something that made you smile in the past couple of days, weeks, whenever. Just tell me a nice story, because I think that we all need some happiness and some bright spots. So do that and you will enter to win the stitch markers. Okay, so you guys remember my little natural dye experiments with Vitex and nettle and olive branches? Well, I was trying to get this color, and it was difficult because even though I tried to use proportionally the same amount of leaves, I had to do 3 baths, but I think I finally got it. So yeah, I think I got it. I mean, this is a different yarn because this is now fingering weight. Remember, this is going to be for my Cala Galdana top by Heather and Hops. And I have 2 skeins of this, and I'm really excited about it. I think that the color came out really cool, and I'm excited to cast on. I have 1 other skein in my apartment, so I'm going to wind that up, and hopefully next time I can show you some progress on this. But isn't that cool? I accidentally mixed up sport and fingering, and so I dyed a skein of sport in this color also. But that's okay, because I plan to make a sweater with sport weight and these 3 colors because I think they're really fun. Okay. And it's funny because we were talking about in our Discord group, we have a little Discord where there's a bunch of knitters, and on Monday night we do a virtual knit along, virtual knit night. And we were talking about like what color this is, because honestly, like I'm seeing it different from what you're probably seeing it. So I feel like it's just like vibrant Vitex, vital Vitex, Vitex verde. I think it's green verde, but maybe it's yellow. So we were saying that it was chamomile, mustard, moss. I don't know, but I think it's a really cool color. I feel like natural dyes, actually any colors on a camera never show up what they are in real life, but it's really cool in real life. Here I have the work I've been doing on my mystery cowl. If you remember, I've got the beautiful yarn. Oh, and I have a hot pepper from my father-in-law's apartment. Okay, here I have the naturally dyed speckles from the Natural Dye Kit by Tintica, which I think is really fun. And this is Yak Merino from ENG, which I overdyed with, overdyed because the natural color is like a grayish coffee color, and I dyed it with logwood, so that's why it's got this purpley periwinkle sheen. It's super shiny and super beautiful. But I have been working on my Cuello Salteña a lot. I'm also working on a sock. I'm working on a lot of different things. And so I haven't worked on my mystery cowl, and so I haven't been following along with the clues and the weeks, and I was really disappointed in myself because I wanted to keep up with it, and that's the fun of a mystery cowl. But you know what? It's okay. Also, I was a little bit undecided because I was looking at my project and I was seeing that because 1 skein of yarn is fingering weight sock and the other one is supposedly fingering weight yak merino, I felt like the tension was really different and it wasn't working well. So I blocked it. And after I blocked it, it all worked out. So I'm going to keep up with it and I'm really excited. I was going to frog it. I was really going to frog it, which is not like me. But I was like, I already missed all the mystery cowl, but I love it and I'm really excited. And I think that when I like finish and block it all out, it will even out. But like this side was like cinching in a little bit, but I think it's okay now. And I have my little stitch markers of jade and watermelon tourmaline. So I think it's really beautiful and I'm gonna keep going. And I feel like it's a good lesson because you can't get upset that it doesn't work out exactly how you wanted it. Like I wanted to like go along with everyone and knit it at the same time, but it just didn't work out. And so here I am and I'm gonna finish and I love it and I'm excited. Okay, so here I have my Mercurio shawl, which is the Mercury shawl by Marianela Galo as well. And I think that this is a lovely pattern because it is only 1 skein. So that really special skein that you have in sock yarn or fingering weight is perfect for this. And this is from Moonstone Dyeworks. This is from Dynamite Trujillo, I don't know if you've ever seen her podcast, but she has a yarn dyeing company, and I got this in winter because it was my birthday, and I was like, okay, I'll treat myself to a really nice yarn. But it arrived and I had to pay like 25 euros extra for customs, and it was kind of a mess. So when I was looking for a pattern and I saw this Mercury shawl, I thought of Mercury retrograde and how things and traveling is a little bit more difficult. So I thought, this is perfect. Perfect for the Mercury shawl. And I really love it. I think it's really beautiful. And it has this really nice, let's see if I could find it, this really nice like crochet border, which really got me into crochet again. Actually, I have a project, half a whip of crochet that I can show you guys sometime. But I really like it, really simple, really easy, and I think it's really beautiful. So that is my Mercury shawl. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about mullein. It could be Verbascum thapsus or Verbascum olympicum. There are many different ones. This is a plant that grows anywhere in Europe, in North America, in Asia. It's known as a weed, but I would say that it is a wonderful lung ally. It's a really tall biennial plant, which means that it blooms the second year. So the first year, it's like a basil rosette, so you see just the leaves in a circle on the ground. And the second year, the stalk shoots up and you get these beautiful yellow flowers. The leaves and the stalk are a pale green and really, really fuzzy. In Spanish, the name for this plant is Gordolobo, which means fat wolf. I have my dog with me. He's a Gordolobo, he's a fat wolf. And I think it's really funny because I think that the leaves kind of look like wolf ears because they're so fuzzy and floppy and big. It blooms usually between June and September, and it's wonderful. It's interesting because I've read that the stalks used to be dried to make torches, like as the candle wick. So it would be dipped in fat and burned like candles. I also read that the dried leaves are really good tinder, like they catch fire really easily. You can also start a fire with the stalk, like using the friction method, because the inside, like the pith of the stalk, is almost like cork-like, and it's very flammable. So if you ever need to start a fire, find some dried mullein. So the leaves and the flowers can make a tea or an infusion, and it is really, really good for your lungs. Be careful because it is so fuzzy that you really need to strain it well if you don't want the fuzziness to tickle your throat, because it will. I don't really mind, but if it's like your first time trying mullein, I would just be careful to strain it well. You can drink it nice and cold, or you can drink it hot with honey or with milk. Milk is also a really important healer to the lungs. So yeah, I think it's important at this time in the world that we need this type of deep acting tonic for our bronchi, for coughs. If you have hoarseness of your voice, allergies, I think it's really good. Also, it can be used in smoking mixtures. You can dry the leaves and smoke them. Actually, about 3 years ago, I quit smoking because I live here in Europe, and it's very common to sit out at a bar with friends and roll a cigarette. So between my knitting, which was something I could do with my hands when I was in social settings, and a week of smoking mullein mixed with maybe Damiana, I didn't actually like the feeling of that, and ever since then I never smoked again. Okay, never say never, but it's been many years, and I think that was really helpful for me. So, like, to get rid of the nicotine and the tobacco, you can just smoke some mullein. It's really good if you want to make an oil of the flowers. It is a remedy for earaches. So maybe for children who suffer from earaches or ear infections, you can make an oil extraction of the flowers, the fresh flowers, for 6 weeks in maybe olive oil or almond oil or whatever you have. And then you can warm this up a little bit and put it in an ear that might be infected or having pain. The leaves can be used as a poultice for sores or wounds. And yeah, I think it's an amazing plant. It's really beautiful. It's really tall. It grows like in disturbed soil, in dry soil. They call it like a people plant because it follows humans wherever we go. Yeah, so I highly recommend getting to know your local mullein. Actually, those of you who might be on the east coast of the United States, I actually found some on Long Island in New York. I found some just growing on the side of the road. So, I'm sure you've seen it. It's a beautiful plant. Oh, and it's also very calming and a mild sedative. The roots, it's interesting because with plants you have the roots, you have the stalk, you have the leaves, you have the flowers, and a lot of times each part of the plant will have different properties. So be careful when you're investigating plants and wanting to try some. Maybe the roots are not going to be the same thing as the leaves. But the roots are apparently very calming and very good, like a mild sedative if you're having pain, or I've heard for like back pain. And tincture, like an alcohol tincture, alcohol extraction of the leaves and the flowers, I've heard is really, really calming and relaxing for the bronchi. And I've also heard it's wonderful for menopausal women. Yes, so lots of different uses, and it's just really beautiful.